Hello everyone, let's go through the process of finding a great domain name for your blog. Now it is important to watch this lesson right through to the end, because if not, you might be confused in the following two lessons. Alright, there's some information at the end that you need to see. Okay, so first of all, I've got a few guidelines here, and you'll be able to download these as a PDF handout as well. Now you should go for either a .com domain name or a country extension. So for example, like .co.uk or .in. If your audience is going to be worldwide or a US audience, you should go for .com. If your audience is going to be country specific to another country, so not the US, you should go for the country extension of that country. Right, so if I was creating a blog for an audience in the UK, and that was my audience, so I wasn't looking for an audience outside of the UK, I would buy a .co.uk domain name. If I wanted my audience to be worldwide, so I was creating a blog with content for anyone in the world, I would go for .com. Hope that makes sense. You should avoid things like .biz, .info, and all that kind of thing. Just stick with .com or a country extension. Avoid hyphens. Hyphens are detrimental to domain names because when people are typing in a domain name in their address bar, the hyphen will very often get missed out. It also doesn't look as good. It has a less professional feel and look about it. You should also avoid numbers. So avoid numbers with either digits or words. For example, top 10 destinations. Using the digits 10 or using the word TEN, that should be avoided because people get mixed up. So if they're typing in the address bar and if you've got top 10 with 10, they might type in top 10, TEN and vice versa. You should also avoid very long domains. People make mistakes typing them in and they're not memorable. Domain privacy, what is that? That is where you can have your personal details hidden in the domain whois database. If you don't have domain privacy, it means that anybody on the internet can look up your domain and see your details, your home address, everything. Now, if you're purchasing a .co.uk or any European extension like .fr, .it, .de, anything that's within Europe or the UK for the extension, you do not need to pay for domain privacy because of the new data privacy laws that came out in 2018 means that your details are already private. For a .com domain name, that's not the case, at least not yet, maybe in the future. So for a .com domain name, you need to pay a few dollars extra for privacy if you do not want your personal details to be available for anybody on the internet to view. Okay, with that said, let's go through the process of finding a great domain name, because many of the names that we come up with and think up in our head, they're not going to be available. So we need to go through a process to find one we like that is available. For this demonstration, I am going to pretend that I'm going to create a blog about helping young children to reach their full potential, and the blog is for parents of those children, so parents of children 7 years and below. And for this demonstration, I'm going to look for a .com domain because .com domains are the most difficult to find a good name that's available simply because many of the names have been taken already. Alright, so the two that I came up with just off the top of my head, Early Achievers and Reaching Potential. Let's test those. And how we test is we type them or we copy and paste them in the search bar here. and click search. Earlyachievers.com is taken, and that's what I expected. All right, let's try the next one. Do a search, and again this one is taken. Now since I only have these 2 domains on the list, there was only 2 that I could think of just off the top of my head, I'm going to go over to a website called thesaurus.com, and I'm going to find some words that are similar to the words that I want to use. So first of all, what would be another word for early? Let's try that. Young. So how about young achievers? We're going to go ahead and try that on GoDaddy. It's available, but oh no, it's a premium domain, and we definitely don't want to pay $25,000 for a domain. Okay, so try again, back to the drawing board. What else have we got here under synonyms for early? Fresh, initial, new, recent. None of these make any sense for the domain name. Fresh achievers, initial achievers, sort of okay, but doesn't really make a lot of sense. So, have a quick look through here. There are more further down, but the list at the top is usually the best one. It's the most relevant one. How about budding? Budding achievers? That does make sense, and it sounds pretty good. And search. And yes, this one is available. It's 99 cents if you register it for 2 years. So if you register it for 2 years, you pay 99 cents for the first year, but you're going to pay about $15 for the second year. And if you register for 1 year, you're going to pay about $11, $10 or $11 for the 1 year. Okay, now that didn't take us too long. It may take you longer than that. It's a lot to do with luck. Sometimes when I'm looking for a domain name, it might take me 20 minutes, it might take me 30 minutes to find a domain name that I like, and the name is also available. Now, when you are searching for another extension that is not .com, so for example .co.uk, it's usually easier to find the name that you want available because there's less competition for names in other countries. So .com is the most competitive domain name, and that's the one that tends to be the most difficult to find a domain name that you want, but it can be done, and I've just proven it here, and I've done many of these demonstration videos where I have found really good domain names using the .com extension. So it can definitely be done, and in fact I have never not been able to find a domain name that I want, as long as I spend enough time, have some patience, and go through the process. Alright, now once you've found a domain name that you want to buy, you have 2 choices. You can either buy it from here, GoDaddy. Your other option is to buy it along with your hosting in the next lesson. So if you're going to do that, just make a note of it. I already have it here. I'm going to delete everything else. And then in the next lesson, when you get your hosting, you can also purchase your domain name along with your hosting, which is a little simpler, but it will cost you maybe $3 more for the domain name. That's the main difference. So I'll leave that up to you. And one more thing here, if you do purchase your domain from GoDaddy, during the purchasing process, you're going to be asked, do you want to buy email? Do you want this? Do you want that? You don't need anything else. You only need the domain name and maybe privacy. If you're buying .com and you don't want your details to be public, you will need privacy, an extra few dollars. If you're buying a .co.uk or any EU extension, any European extension, you don't need it because it's already included. You already have privacy due to the new laws that came out in 2018. All right, and just to make it absolutely clear, let's go through the buying process here for a domain. buddingachievers.com, add to cart. I'm already logged into my account here at GoDaddy. If you don't have an account already, you'll be asked to create one during the buying process. So add to cart, continue to cart. We've added privacy, here's why, and it's an extra $7.99 per year. You do not need this, untick. You do not need this because you will be creating a free professional email address in the following lessons. Continue to cart. And now we want to change from 5 years to 1 year and complete purchase. Now what happens is if you're buying .co.uk or any European extension, when you click on complete purchase, domain name privacy is removed and you're left with a price to pay of about $9 or $10. Alright, so that's how to buy your domain from GoDaddy. And your other option is to buy your domain name along with your hosting in the next lesson. Okay, see you in a minute.